Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the trip, our midweek edition. As you know, here's my crew today. And as you know, I like to do a little intro, and we'll try something a little bit different than we have in the past. Hope you like it. This is DWTT coming to you from the Emirates. Hello, everyone. I hope you like the intro. That's just
Sorry,
I created those, of course, when I went to the
Emirates. It was a bit bassy, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little something, like you said. Yeah, something I just put together. But welcome to the trip midweek edition. We'll get started here. Got Tony. How you doing, Tony?
Got a new autoimmune disease, number 7.
What's new? Tell me something we don't know.
Hashimoto, my thyroid.
Oh man, sorry to hear about that, Tony. And also below, last but not least, I got Mr. Tom. How are you doing?
Greetings. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all well. I extend that to everyone, obviously, except Tony, because he's already told us.
There you go. And say hello, everybody in the chat. Tony's here again. That guy's always here. Miss Melina, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Riddy, how you doing? I feel like it's been a while since I've heard Riddy in the.
I know, that's what I was
in the chats.
I didn't know he was still alive. I was sitting there debating, like, should I actually send him a message on Twitter to be like, just to check that he is alive? Because he was like dropped off face of the earth, right? And then I'm like,
I knew he was alive because I kept getting likes on some of my tweets, so I assume he was still there. But he's giving us a little break.
Chat if they just got obsessed with cricket, found some cricket to watch instead of the World Cup.
Yeah, maybe so. Steven is in the house. Welcome from old chilly Canada. Everybody's saying hello. We got Big Gunner is in the house. Sorry about that, Big Gunner, but Monday I had some family obligations that kind of changed my plans, and I thought I don't want to not give some of the people what they want. They want more Tony, and to find out actually what is wrong with Tony. That's probably gonna be our new segment. Every week he's got something wrong with him. We'll figure it. We'll just figure out.
Tom, you're crisp for going away.
I know. Instead of like, where's Waldo and Tom's Chipper the show. We'll just have what does Tony have now?
What did Tony go to the doctor this week for?
Yeah.
Well, when you say what's wrong with Tony, are we talking medically or personality-wise? Because I could.
Yes.
Because I'm no doctor, but I know a prick when I see one.
There you go. See, yeah. Yeah, football is back, Riddy.
Even though you haven't seen your own in a while, Tom.
Less than a week from now, we will
have. I am a bit fat.
You're not, are you?
Too fat to see his prick.
I've had a few chicken wings tonight, so Tony hasn't said anything that's patently untrue. So
all right, cool. Yeah, Riddy, football is back. We'll be on Monday, I guess. After our Monday, when our Monday show happens, everybody should be back with us, and we'll chat about the game. At least we'll chat about our game. I don't know, when is Leeds playing that day too? Do they get to play on Boxing Day?
No, we play the 28th against Manchester City.
Great. So you get an extra day. You get an extra day to get prepared for them. Very nice, very nice. And everybody in the chat, just say give us a like, and a pleasantries. Yes. Hope everything's well with Miss Melina for sure. And Riddy, I am the voice of the Premier League. There you go. Yeah, Big Gunner. Yeah, hopefully you can listen to us while you work. Chris Nix, how you doing? Welcome to the show. And Tony is the voice of reason. Tony's the voice of reason. Huh?
Yeah, that means Tom's the voice of nonsense.
Well, we haven't got to Tom yet. Tom is the voice of Christmas crisps. Just Christmas crisp, not just crisp in general. That's
It's seasonal. We'll
oh,
allow
it's seasonal. All right. So here we go. We are here. I'm using StreamYard today, as you can tell, so things are a little bit different. Now we can actually hear Tony.
You could hear me before, but it wasn't decade.
No, but we saw you move and then we heard you. Now we can, and how it happens, I believe, at the same time.
Yep. Whenever I'll be talking, I better shut up because his noise is about to appear any second now.
That was a precursor, right, to what's about to happen. Some more nonsense is going to come out of his mouth, and you're warned about it now. Now we don't have no warning.
I'm just gonna go up here and play with the duck. Quack quack.
Oh, you're on the wrong side, buddy. At least on my screen, you're on the wrong side.
Always picking the wrong side.
It's on the right on mine.
Oh, you got a weird screen. On my side, it's the opposite, I guess. I don't know.
It's to your left here.
Yeah. If I flip it, does it do it? Let's see.
Oh, well, Tony doesn't know how to
All I'm going to say is no one in that comment section is going to agree that you touched the duck.
Try and touch the duck again.
Try and touch the duck, Tony.
Are you doing that right now?
Yeah.
Okay, you are way off. At least in my screen,
you're
like trying to touch my shoulder, and you know what? Get off.
See?
Get off.
It's over this way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like backwards. It was right on my screen.
Oh, that looks. See, I'm looking at it right here, and that looks right. So I don't know. This is where we are. This is where we are.
I have the camera mirror here.
We were spending time watching Tony try to touch a duck. Yeah. Lolo's in the house. What's up? What is up?
Because what you see over
Friday boss.
Lolo, I showed the guys my my little 1 minute video. Part of it's got you in the if you recall, we're on the escalators going down, I think, to the subway. And you put your flag up. I don't know if you remember that one. But I think it's a cool video, but it's a bit long. It's about a minute. Try to touch the duck.
Comment.
Yeah, that right there is where we've gone. It's been a while since we talked football, so this is where we are. It's
kind of hard to do with your arm in a sling.
You have all the excuses. Oh, something's wrong with you. You know?
I have to go all the way over.
Man's got like one leg, no shoulders, no arm. No immune system.
No, I have an immune system. It just attacks itself.
Oh, sorry. Everywhere. You got a problem with your immune system. There you go.
It attacks every part of myself, Gary.
Yeah, let's see. It's freezing in North London on Saturday. Oof. Yeah, I think the temperature is dropping over here as well. 3 minutes in, the show is off the rails already. Yeah.
Not as much as it is here. It's going to be negative. There's going to be 7 degrees for the high tomorrow and -5 for the low. So
oof.
It'll be fucking cold all day.
Yeah, I think the Christmas weekend is going to be cold for us, which is good. I'm just going to be inside anyways. I have to make sure I have all my beverages, though. I don't know about you guys, but
are you drinking eggnog, Gary? Do you
what?
Do eggnog?
No, I don't do that.
Who does eggnog? It's just gross.
What the hell is eggnog? I've seen it on TV. No, I see it on TV shows and they talk about it, but I've never actually seen it. Like, what is it?
It's about the grossest
You're drinking
substance you can put in your mouth, even after you add the booze to it.
I don't know what it's made of. I mean, I don't know. I've made there's a Puerto Rican drink that you make with evaporated milk and cream and rum. It's really good. I like that. So, yeah.
What is that?
Ryan has joined us. Welcome to the show.
Steven's right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in a bubble.
Yeah. That is strange that they haven't put you. That's strange you haven't put. Yeah, that's strange they haven't put you in a bubble yet.
Hell, at least I could get around that way instead of destroying my
just roll,
shoulders in
just
a wheelchair.
Roll. All right. So before, as we said, yeah, I was gonna say.
Did you know your women's team won 9-1?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into football, but we wanted to close the door, right? Because Tony hasn't been able to talk football for at least the last 6 weeks because Tony boycotted the World Cup. So he knew absolutely nothing about what was going on in the world, nothing at all. He never had any comments. But we're going to go through I didn't actually get to see the whole game in full because I had my basketball season started.
The only thing that ruined me from completely.
How are you talking about a game you never saw?
No, I'm talking about fucking Twitter forcing on the top. It had like 4 blue lines. No matter what.
This is not even a segment for you.
It was on the top of the screen.
This is not even a segment for you.
France versus who cares?
Supposedly you have nothing to say about what happened in the game.
Gary, I always have something to say whether I fucking watched it or not.
That's probably true as well.
Did you win in the basketball, Gary? Sorry,
my team. You know what? My team did win. I actually had an injury, so I didn't actually get to play. And my team went down 10 early, and then we came back and we went into overtime and won. So
did they win because of your
substitution? No. I was going to speak from my comment section here. The second you said I didn't play due to injury, I don't give a fuck what happened in the basketball match. I now want to investigate the injury. What was the injury?
Oh, you don't even want to hear it. You're gonna even laugh even more. No, it isn't. No, you guess. Here's how old I'm getting. So I took a flight. I had to go out west to go get my kid from college. There was a stop on the way in Denver, and I'm blaming it on the altitude because when we landed in Denver, Denver, Mile High, when we landed, all of a sudden I felt this tweak in my leg, in my calf, and basically that's all she wrote. After that, my leg was just sore for the rest of the trip. So I'm going to blame it on the altitude, but I could also blame it on getting old.
Were you too close to Oklahoma?
That might be it. Yeah, that might be it too. But that's what happened. I hurt my calf. And if you know anything about running, it's hard to do when your calf doesn't want to work.
That's what happens when you're next door to Oklahoma, Gary.
Yeah, I did not break a fingernail, even though that might be cause for a concern. You know what? We got some comments here. We're going to get into the comments because it doesn't seem like we're going to get into the World Cup yet, but we did, as you say, Ryan here, the women finished off Zurich today. And this is what the men should have done when they played Zurich, right? And they're playing without their 2 top attackers, right? The women out. Bethany,
are they your 2 top attackers?
Viv,
you won 9-1 without them, so are they?
Yes, because Beth Mead here won Sports Personality of the Year, which I think is more than just being a personality, but also probably being a good footballer, right? Right, top 10. Yeah,
it's literally voted for by the public.
Yeah, but they like what they see on the pitch. That's why it starts. It doesn't start by just doing stuff on YouTube and on Twitter and Instagram. If you aren't good at your sport, you're not going to be a personality, right? What personality do you go, well, that guy's crap. That lady doesn't do well on the pitch.
No, but you say personality. I mean, I know nothing about her apart from the fact that she's pulled a Neymar with a partner who's also got the same injury as her, and like Neymar always gets suspended around the time it's his sister's birthday, allegedly. Right, and I'm just seeing some parallels there.
No, I don't know.
But
like I said, it was a big day for the women's team. They sealed the first spot in the group. 9-1, as I say here. Who was it? I know the name. I'm going to say the name wrong, but it's Frida Manum. I know I'm saying it wrong. Because they kept saying it on the stream that you got to say it correctly, and it doesn't sound the way it looks. So I know I said it wrong. But she had 2 goals. She had a hat trick and an assist. And then Blackstenius, Ryan's favorite player. He actually said he did not.
Dog right there.
He actually said he did not have to say anything bad about her in the match, even though I think soon after he said that, she missed the shot wide on the right.
I watched his stream because, of course, I did, and he did the brilliant. I've not had to say anything bad about her, which inherently is saying something bad about her. Because it's like saying, I didn't have to say, no, sorry. I'll get it right. Sorry, calm myself down. Yeah.
Rewind,
basically, Tom. It was along the lines of to comment on how often she's offside, because she hasn't been offside tonight. But you're telling me that you usually do. So you obviously think she has a problem with being offside a lot. So
true. But she scored as well.
So it could be true. But she evidently done well. I've said. I know you hear this. What I'm saying, it, sir. But no. To be fair to him, right? I've long said that I don't think she's that bad, and I think it's more a case of it would be interesting if she had more responsibility on her, which is now being. It's actually quite similar to Eddie parallels, where more important players to the team are now unavailable, so they're having to step up, and evidently she has stepped up.
I hate that has to be the reason why players do that. Why can't you not have to get pushed to perform? How about you just perform the way you can and make everything about everybody trying to hold you back, and that's why now you're overachieving, right? As opposed to, I'll just get out there and just run around for a bit. See, that's the part I don't get, right? I'm not an athlete, so I'm not an athlete now, but if I were, that's what I would be talking about. Like when Arteta says Eddie's really good, how comes we don't see it?
Is Blackstenius, is that her name? Yeah. Is she in a front three with two people that are in a relationship?
Is Beth Mead is in a relationship with who?
Miedemeier or Medema, whatever her name is.
Oh, they're in a relationship? I didn't think
I believe so. I may have read that wrong, but I believe that's the case.
I didn't think that was the case, but
ask Ryan. I believe Ryan would know.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I believe they're bunking, right?
But why? So, if she's offsides, is that you're trying to say it's because they leave the pass a little too late, and then she's always offsides?
What I was actually trying to get at with that, and I'll never prove it because I don't really watch them, so it's irrelevant. But I suspect that they make sure that each other looks good, and she's the third wheel. Which then causes Ryan
in my eyes, Miedema has been struggling this year.
Tom, doing X, Y, Z. You were just say they're good at scissor kicks.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Mr. Tom. I don't know about that.
But that's not PG.
Yeah, and I did not get blown over by the wind. I'm getting old. Sounds like it's pretty cold.
That could have been true.
Yeah, your trip was canceled because of minus 35 and a 48 with a wind chill. Damn.
Yeah, you have to figure in the Celsius there, Gary.
Still sounds cold. All right.
Ryan teaches me lots of stuff about your women's team.
Yeah. So, Tony, would you sign Harry Kane in your NFL team as a kicker?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's a diver. I'd sign him up for an Olympic team.
There you go. And Ray's joined us. You know the football season is close to starting again when Gary is struggling with players' name. You got it. That's me. Frida Manum is how it looks.
I thought you were going to say Frito Ole.
Oh,
Frito Ole.
Just call Frodo and move on.
Yeah. I am here, Tom. There you go. Everybody saying hello.
That was after I was quoting him poorly. I wasn't quoting poorly.
See, he was shocked by her performance. See, yeah.
He was. Yeah. But then but he was doing it and like, I'm not even in a position to insult her. And I'm like, but the way you're saying it is insulting her.
Yeah. And it's Erdegor. And I actually had a Norwegian, you know him, we all know him, who told me it sounds more like Erdegor than it does Erdegord. All right? So leave me alone.
He said Odegaard. That's what he always said. It's Odegaard.
There you go. See, whatever I said, Ray backs me up. Thanks, Ray.
That's Ryan, damn it.
What did I say, Ray? I've been this not having a show like consistently is screwing me up. Can't even get the names right. Sorry about that. Was that Ray or Ryan? I can't remember. Ryan.
Right.
And this is Ray.
Can we get back on track with this World Cup thing?
Oh well, no, we needed to confirm it. Bev and Viv are dating each other. So yes, the two ladies that are out.
Yeah, I said that like 5 minutes ago.
Injuries.
When Ryan first commented on it.
I know, but he never. We needed confirmation because you're not. You don't come with much credibility these days.
By what Ryan said. I read what he said.
He just said it just now.
He did.
I don't have an autoimmune disease of my eyes.
He did when it came up.
Oh, he did? All right. I didn't. I missed it. My bad. At least the English cricket team wins World Cups. They don't bottle big tournaments. There you go. So, there you go. -40 Fahrenheit, the same as -40 centigrade, Tony.
Don't believe that one.
I mean, the man might know. He knows something about, temperature. He's lived in both places. You have not. Saka was England's best player in the World Cup. Bellingham was close behind him. So let's get into it. We want to talk about the World Cup real quick before we talked about the women's game that happened today.
I'd like to lay down a marker as to why I think Messi's not the greatest player of all time.
Oh, all right. So let's get through the game first, and then we'll get into why Messi is. He's not the greatest. What?
He's not the greatest of all time.
Not the greatest of all time. All right.
I'll die on this sword, okay? And I'm happy to tell you the one thing he has to do where I will turn around and go, you know what, you're better than Pele, you're better than Maradona, you're better than Cristiano Ronaldo.
You're more cocaine than Maradona did. Is that what it is?
You gotta let the man finish talking, Tony.
I'm asking questions.
No, not in the middle of his speech. Let the man finish what he has to say.
Did I interrupt you,
question, Tom? But no, it was fair. But no, I'm quite happy to go back to if Gary wants to go over the match itself. I'm just going to let you. I can let them deliberate what I'm going to come out with.
All right, so let's wait for that. So
they'll come out with some great ideas.
So Tony, did you watch the final? Right, you watched the finals?
I didn't watch anything. I didn't watch one clip. Nothing.
All right, so I know
you
from
watching clips.
I did not watch one clip.
Are you ever going to?
Am I in a good mood?
No, I say, are you ever going to?
Am I ever to what? Watch a clip?
Watch any clips of the tournament, the World Cup.
It's over.
There were key incidents.
Argentina won. They cried. It's over with. So here we go.
That was witty. That was witty, Anthony. I'll give you that.
No, I mean, the bits and pieces that I did see, I know Argentina jumped out to a 2-0 lead. And
giving me a hard time for not watching it, and you didn't watch it, Gary.
Stop talking.
Have a lot long to do.
Why is he still talking? He didn't even watch it. And I told you I didn't watch the entire thing. I did tell you I watched some of it. You didn't watch any.
Was that because your calf was bothering you? You could reach up and turn the channel or something?
This man. You want to just butt in. Should I just mute you? That way we don't have to hear. We should go back to the other system. At least I get an extra like 5-10 seconds before I can hear what you have to say.
Sorry, Gary, I'm going through podcast withdrawal.
It sounds like it. Sounds like. Let's get through the World Cup real quick here then. Anyway, so as I said, Argentina goes up 2-0. I think I saw a lot of people thinking that it's there's something a little fishy going on here with the way things were going. Argentina being up 2-0 and all of that. But I think Mbappe had something to say about that, right? The man, as many people said, he scored 4 goals on Emi Martinez.
He did,
and still Martinez still has to pull out a baby at the trophy when they go on their little bus ride with Mbappe on it. Like, who's your daddy? Like, dude, he scored 4 goals on you. How in the world does that even? What? Tell me Tell me, make it make sense why he would do that.
Because he's a prick, but he's a winner on the day. I mean, I could say a million things about him. Arsenal reject, all these sort of things. I could say these things, but he's still going to turn around at the end of the day and go, "Yeah, but I got the winner's medal," and he has. No matter how he got it, and I know he behaves like a prick, and he's annoyingly good during penalty shootouts because he behaves like a prick. How the hell did he
use the word prick twice? Not the C word, Tom. You turning over new leaves? Sorry? I said, how did you use the P word instead of a C word twice?
Well, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and behave.
That's what I just asked you. There's my answer.
I'm just confirming what you asked.
Okay. Carry on.
Yeah. So basically, it's going to go down to the greatest World Cup final ever. But if we're being truly honest with each other, that match was shit for 80 minutes because there was only one. It was one-way traffic. It went one way the entire day. Well, if football match lasted 80 minutes, Argentina had 100% of everything. But it doesn't last 80 minutes. It lasts 90. I got a question for you, Tom. Yeah, go on, Tom.
Is that the most penalties in a World Cup final?
It's not. Oh, in the final, yeah. No. I think so. Yeah. Maybe.
It just seemed like the whole World Cup had a bunch of them. Especially the final.
Oh, no, the whole tournament, no.
I was asking the final. The final.
No, 2018 had more penalties as a tournament because it was the first tournament with VAR.
No, I was just asking about the final. I'm just saying it seemed like there's a lot overall, though. It has to be a record for a final.
Well, there was 2 in the match and 9-5. I don't know. I can't remember how it went. Keep in mind, it's not the only final that actually went to a penalty shootout. Happened a few times.
Was there 1 or 2 in extra time?
Just 1.
No, there's just 2 in the match. So
I thought there's 3 in a match.
Yeah. Messi had 1. He had the first. The first goal was a.
And Mbappe had 2.
I am wrong. Yeah, fair enough. You probably are right, but
I'm just looking at it right now. In 90 minutes there were 2 in the entire.
Yeah.
In the extra time. There's 1. So.
But the game changed when Di Maria got took off because for some reason he was killing France. Just he was murdering them to the point where they took him off. And then it's probably going to say he was like carrying a knock or whatever, but they took him off because they were so far in front. There was no way you could overturn the dominance that they were inflicted. But they did overturn the dominance because Kylian Mbappe, again, he was shit. It will be the worst performance you will ever see to get a hat-trick. He wasn't in the game. And then he won. And he scored twice in a minute. 1 was a penalty, though. I mean, that's.
Let's just say real quick here. Hello to Thunder Road. Thanks for joining us. Everybody hit the likes if you have not done that already.
We're up to 10, Gary.
Yeah, cool. Everybody's liking the midday. Yeah, two in 90 minutes, 1 in extra time. So yeah.
I think it's because they can hear me, Gary. That's why they're liking.
I don't like it. Mr. Tom, do you like it?
Kind of prefer the restream.
That's what I was thinking. I was just.
What's the word? It rations you. Like we only hear half of your sentences.
Quack quack. Quack quack.
Anything else on the World Cup before we finish up?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh no. Well, before you get to the Messi conversation, I mean, there was one comment here which I think we already, we did, I don't know how you feel about this one. So Tony, you should answer this one because you have something to say about everything. So tell me, Saka, best England player, Bellingham, a close number 2.
Yeah, well, I heard Saka did a good job, so I'll approve Rudy's message. Even though he's been gone watching cricket, probably didn't watch a minute of a World Cup. So we'll see.
All right, and Mr. Tom.
I would argue that could be fair to say. Again, if someone turned around to me and said, I think Bellingham was England's best player, I wouldn't disagree with it either. I'm going to assume there is a tinge of Arsenal bias into why it is written that way instead of a reverse. But again, it's not unfair to write that either. So, yeah. So I don't think what makes it difficult in terms of England's performance is England lost to the one good team that they played, but they didn't lose badly. Or, yeah, Harry Kane should have scored the second penalty, but we just happened to get beat by a team that are world class and better. We want to be as good as them, but we're not. On the day, we weren't, and that's it. That's football. But what's disappointing about it is we have days too often against the teams in the top 10. Because I don't think we ever beat teams. It's been a long time since we've beaten a top 10 ranked side, which isn't good enough with the players that we have.
That is definitely a problem.
But I wasn't embarrassed or ashamed by the outcome.
Are you ready for a new manager, Tom?
No, because I don't think it really matters who the manager is in the context that they'll pick the same players and they'll probably use them the same way.
How? Okay, so you're saying you get a totally different you get a different manager. You expect to see not Harry Kane, but Harry Maguire and Stones on that back line.
I do, because for the embarrassment of riches that we have as a nation in terms of the talent that we have, our talent pool is actually quite small compared to a lot of the other elite nations. And that is partly because our talent pool is diluted by the melting pot that is the Premier League, which is the trade-off for having the best league in the world, is that your national team suffers. Yeah, you are going to get players that come through. But generally, once a player is through, they are in the team for a long time because there won't generally be enough players to create competition. And that's been the case for a long time, Gary.
How many players missing out on the World Cup do you think could have competed?
Probably not as many as in a lot of the other countries that did well. I mean, I can't be. I'm just saying, generally speaking, that.
No,
someone's going to turn around and go, "Oh, Ivan Toney or someone," but you're talking one or two individuals in a position.
Well, yeah, but then I look at that and I go, so James Maddison doesn't even play, and might have been one of the hotter players going in, right? And you're like, if you don't play them, it doesn't even matter if you have 20 guys sitting on the outside looking in, all right? Because you have really good players. You're not playing. Sancho probably should be better off. Should be in a better mindset. That's probably why he's out of there right now. You've got Tomori, defensive player that you need a young defensive player coming in, not there, right? I mean, I don't think
individuals.
No, but you're just saying that there's no players out there, but there is players out there that one didn't make it.
No,
didn't even play.
No. There's one or two that don't get picked that you can argue should get picked, but it's not as many as there probably should be for a country of our resources in football.
And you're saying that because why? Because they don't get to play football elsewhere if they don't play it in England, in Great Britain, in UK? What are you saying? Like they don't get to play still? I mean, Bellingham is playing.
I'm not
Sancho
saying it's
was
good
playing.
or bad. I'm saying it's the byproduct of the Premier League. Is that you don't have the deep pool that a lot of other countries will. Because like Spain, for example, and they didn't do particularly well, but my point is they did well for a lot of the time because they had all their best players played everywhere else, but then they were producing players in their own league. That's not my opinion. That's what happened.
True.
Same with Germany.
And how do you fix that?
You can't, because we've made that is something we've just got to accept. It's a fact that for us to have the best league in the world, you somewhat have to sacrifice your talent pool.
Yeah, but if you're saying what you just said, right, that would mean that if they didn't play in the Premier League and they went and played in Serie A, Liga, all those other leagues, that they would be worse off, even though you just said that those other leagues.
I did not say they'd be worse off. Did not say they'd be worse off.
No. I said they would go play elsewhere in worse leagues. If Premier League is the top, everybody's got to be a little step below it, right? So you're saying if those English
money is, that's why.
No. What I'm saying is if those English players were to go and play overseas, right, in Europe, with players who you're saying are better than the English players that didn't make it, then they would be okay, right? Because they're competing against the same players that are at a level where they could be in an international team, all right? So the competition's got to be there. So I don't think that's the. I don't think that's.
Are you pretending Tom is Ray? Are you confused?
Did I say that again?
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Did I say Ray?
No, you're just talking to him like he's Ray.
What do you mean I'm talking to him like he's Ray?
What does that mean? Trying to prove he's wrong.
No, I don't believe that England doesn't have enough players to compete. I don't believe it. He does. You believe that there's not enough English players to compete with all the bigger countries, and I don't believe that. I believe they do have them, depending on how they utilize them when they come into the squad or whether they even pick them at all. Could be a case for why.
My actual point, which I never got to say about it, was because the pool isn't as deep. If the players are not performing like a Harry Maguire, there's no replacement. And you're going to say, oh, yeah, Tomori could have got picked. But my point is that you don't have a wealth of replacements. There's not 10 guys you can put in there. There's maybe one or two. And they won't, because that setup trusts Harry Maguire. Gareth Southgate likes Harry Maguire because Harry Maguire does what he tells him to do. Whether that's right or wrong is not for me to say. My point is that Southgate picks these players for a reason.
But you said another manager comes in will do the exact same thing, which I think is stupid.
Yeah.
For one. I
think all managers do. But that's what happens with the England team. Like I said, because there's not enough, because you don't have 200 players to pick from, the reality is that these managers get attachments and trust to his core 20 or 30 players.
Yeah.
And that's who they go with. And they're in the England team for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, that's not my opinion. The only way players generally drop out of the England team is when they drop out of the top six. Like when they get replaced in their club, they then mysteriously fall out of the England team. Like Trent will be in the England setup for until Liverpool don't want it.
Yeah, that's just stupid, right? I mean, you think that's stupid, but you think no matter who they bring in, the rules are set that you have to go out and play with the English players who are on the biggest teams in the Premier League, regardless of whether they are good or bad, right? That's what you're saying, right?
Really is saying what I've said. Southgate is only doing what every other England manager has done. They have a core group of players, and they only generally leave it when they leave the top six, which basically means they're in the team for a long time, regardless of performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I'm not wrong because it's what happened.
No. I get you, but I think it's stupid. And I think you're saying it's stupid that they will do that. That they will actually not go out there and get the best 20 plus English players, regardless of who they play for and where they play.
Every England manager comes in his first press conference will turn around and say, I will pick players on merit, because the biggest criticism of the previous manager, apart from whatever thing they got caught doing that they shouldn't have been doing, will generally be you always pick the same players when they weren't performing. So New England manager always comes in and goes, I'm not picking on reputation, I'm picking on merit. And then they proceed to spend the next 8 years picking based on reputation and what club they played for.
Yeah. And you're saying that Italy, Spain, France, Germany doesn't do that. They pick their best players.
Yeah, but they also win things.
No. But what I'm saying is, you just said that they're deep, so there's a lot of players that could have made the squad but didn't, and that's better than that they have a wealth of talent, right? But you only get to send 25. They only get to send 25 or 30, to these tournaments, right? So at the end of the day, are you saying England does not have 20 to 30 players that are at the level of the 20 to 30 from the other countries, the top 10 teams in the world?
I believe I very early on in this discussion set my stall at that our 26 is as good as everyone else's 26, but they are used in a way that rarely gets the best out of them. But if you bring in a new manager, they're going to do the same sort of mistakes, because it's inherent in the England setup.
And who's does
I'm not saying I agree with it.
Is the setup done by the manager, or is it done by the British Football Association, whatever they call it?
The FA set it up in such a way. Gav Southgate was England under-21 manager previously.
Yeah.
So they've got a set, they don't want anymore to go, Jose Mourinho, do you want to be our manager? Here's £5 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they did that with Sven Goran Eriksson, and all they got out of it was quarterfinal. But they could have got the same by paying Gav Southgate a fraction of it.
Yeah. I don't get the whole money thing. It's but anyways, as Steven says here, you're saying that another manager will still probably pick Harry Maguire, and would institute a system where Kane has to play deep to come, to help to support the midfield, is what you would say. You're saying that they would just do that because that's written down in the FA rule book.
You're asking me to predict a future that never happened.
No, you just told me that
was the manager.
You told me that's what's happened the last number of years with different managers. They all do the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
And now I'm telling you, will that happen in the future? You're like, I can't predict the future. Come on. You're saying that that's what would happen because you said no matter who they bring in, they got to do the same thing again. That's what you did. So that means you're predicting the future, Mr. Tom.
I'm good at it, I must admit. But I was being polite to Mr.
Track of a bullshit, he says. Can you, Tom?
But that is true as well. But no, I genuinely think if there was another manager who came in and he was like, but basically he's like Harry, you're my guy. That's basically it. Whether that's right or wrong, that's evidently what happened. I do think part of it as well is that Harry Maguire's not as bad for England as he is for Man United.
Yeah.
To be fair.
No, he's all right. But I mean, at some point, I think, you're telling me they can't do, there's no better, but I don't know. I don't know about that. But
no, enough of that. Enough of that. That would want it. There's no better that would want it. Who would leave their club job right now to take the England job?
No, I thought you were talking. Why wouldn't you? You're saying that's not a good job to have it because of the restrictions on what you can and cannot do. Is that what you mean?
I don't think international management is as prestigious as it once was when you sort of look at the managers that were in this World Cup. And that's not nothing against anyone personally, but I think when you look at Lionel Scaloni won the World Cup, I mean, he played defence for West Ham, but I don't know who else he managed.
True.
The number 2 ranked side in the world was managed by Roberto Martinez, who on his CV has an FA Cup and a relegation. International managers take these big names will take these jobs when they're basically 1 foot into retirement now, whereas that wasn't the case before. It's not a trap, Ray. I'm winning this.
I don't know. So, do you think the Germany coach wasn't?
I'm trying to figure out why the fuck we're still talking about
when he had them winning World Cup and being you don't think he was a good manager? I don't know about what he did before, but do you think the Germany coach wasn't a good coach? I guess for me that might be one of the last. I never
said any of them ain't good coaches. I'm just saying Pep Guardiola ain't leaving Man City to manage England.
Yes, that's true.
That's all I'm saying.
But that doesn't. I mean, I get that, but I mean that's
bad.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There are
it's
good
not
managers.
A who's who anymore.
Yeah.
What job would Gareth Southgate, if Gareth Southgate left England right now, what job would he walk into?
That's to tell you how bad that's to tell you how bad he is. That's telling you how bad he is.
Hand on heart, if Pep Guardiola took the Spain job tomorrow and then Gareth Southgate sent an application into Man City, would they read it or chuck it in the bin?
They're not reading it. You know that.
Is that called? That's a rhetorical question.
But you think it's okay to? But do you think it's okay to coach the best English players? You know what I mean? And like you said, that's an FA problem. But anyways, let's move on because we could probably chat about that a little bit. Let's get into why Messi is not
still World Cup.
No, yeah, we're not done. You should have watched it.
Listen, Lionel Messi, right? Let's be fair. He's not winning on points. Ridiculous.
I like Ray. Ray's my man.
90% of that guy was picking an argument on something I actually agreed with him on.
No, but you were saying it wrong.
Now you were hearing it differently. No, right. Lionel Messi, let's be fair, that cape ruined it. It was meant to be like the crowning glory of that man's career and life. And then they stuck a stupid cape on him. Have you seen it, Tony? You've seen the photo, right? What?
Oh, damn! He just left.
You run from a photo of him lifting the World Cup like you ran from this conversation. Oh God. No, seriously, that was. That's not why I don't think it's great. I just thought that was troubling. You want to see the man in his kit, like in his Argentina kit, lifting the trophy, and then they like shoved him in it was like propaganda cape or something. It was but yeah, no.
That whole trophy thing was a little tainted, as you say. Also with the whole Salt Bay guy running around trying to take the trophy out of the player's hands. You're like, whoa, because NHL, right? Who can touch the trophy? Right?
It is illegal for him to touch the trophy.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, is it? So I didn't even know that's because I know the NHL, you can't stop to touch the Stanley Cup.
FIFA have specific rules where basically the only people that are allowed to touch the trophy are the players on the winning team and the coach. Only people that can touch the trophy. People involved in the setup basically are allowed to touch it. Salt Bay is not supposed to touch the World Cup trophy. Yeah. But apparently, if you feed Infantino the night before, you are allowed to touch the trophy because that's why he was allowed there. Because people were like, how did he sneak in? He didn't sneak in. He literally had the official thing that said he could be there. Now, I'm not saying that makes it all right. It doesn't. The point is, he shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I thought that looked really bad. As like the whole starting up to the World Cup and then the way that they ended with that. It's like, it might have been run really well and all that kind of stuff. There might not be any arrests and all this stuff, but there's certain little things that you just shouldn't do. I think that you watching him trying to pull the trophy out of the players' hands, and the players are like, they were in shock that somebody's actually trying to take the trophy out of their hand. Like I been looking at this, thinking about winning this trophy, as soon as I was able to get a shirt that said I'm a Brazilian international, and I've probably been doing that. Sorry, Brazilian, Argentinian national, right? And then I get an opportunity to play for it. I go through the 4 or 5 weeks of this thing. We get it, and now somebody who's had absolutely nothing to do with any sweat and tears to get here is just trying to pull the trophy out of my hands. Bad look.
He was tugging on Messi, and Messi's like, "What the fuck are you?" sort of thing. And it was a bit. I was embarrassed for him, to be honest, cringed a bit.
So you said it was a cape, but it looks like you said it was a cape, but it looks like it was a Qatari traditional gown. So you were wrong. So you were wrong, because other players I recall have wore sombreros and other gear, garb from the countries where the World Cup was played.
Yeah, but they don't wear it when they lift the trophy.
There's pictures of, I thought, Maradona in a sombrero.
Like Batman after they've lifted the trophy. It's not the point.
No, but what you're saying is actually, I don't believe. I think this is fine, because I think we've seen it in other situations, whether or not it's
not when they first lifted the trophy. They don't.
Yeah, I guess I didn't see the picture.
That they can't
I thought I saw
I'm
him.
talking about the first moment they lift it. They're usually in kit.
I get that. Yeah. Like I said, that whole part after the game was called, the whistle was blown. It's a little bit doesn't seem right. Right? Doesn't seem right at all. We lost Tony. I hope he's feeling all right. I guess our World Cup talk got a lot longer than he thought, but we still have a bit of time before we talk about English football and stuff. So, is that anything more for Messi? Because I
wanted to say what I think Messi has to do to prove he's definitively the greatest player of all time. Because a lot of people think that this proved he's better than Ronaldo, and it doesn't. For me, because obviously he cares what I think. I invented football, so what he needs to do to definitively be the best player of all time is join Tottenham and win a trophy.
That's not actually why. No, why?
If he joins Tottenham and drag Tottenham to a trophy, he's the best player of all time.
No, why is Ronaldo better than him? Because he didn't join Tottenham. You always have me say the word. He didn't join that team.
I didn't say Ronaldo's the best of all time either.
But you said that's what required. So why?
The word Ronaldo didn't leave my lips.
What other players have gone into an ultimate, failure in a team like that team? That is
Maradona won the Serie A with Napoli in the 80s.
And they were a serial loser.
Well, then they didn't exactly have much success after or before. But I believe he won the title there. He may have even done it twice. My point is that
a Leicester City situation?
If he can drag Tottenham to a trophy, a major trophy, I will not accept Carabao Cup. If Leeds won the Carabao Cup, I'd be incredible. It'd be a big deal, massive trophy. But for Tottenham, not a big deal. Because
I don't agree that you have to play for a struggling side to be considered greatest of all time, because it's just as hard to do it when you're at one of the top teams and you're leading that team as well. Because some will say, no, think about it.
At the expense of Tottenham.
I know, but I don't like them. You actually brought them into the conversation. Well, why are we talking about them? We're talking about you brought the greatest of all time candidate, and then you brought them into that discussion.
Because surely the greatest of all time could drag them up. But he wouldn't be able to because it's them.
So they are they are the greatest of all time failure, or the failure of all time, the FOAT.
I imagine they've spent a lot of money on failure, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I don't believe that's a good criteria for whether or not you're the greatest of all time. Is that
it's the best criteria?
Literally
the best criteria. The best criteria. If he could turn them into winners, then there is obviously something special about him.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know.
Someone's
I mean,
say, "Oh, there's something special about him there."
He won. Well, I was going to say he won like what in the knockout rounds. He was player of the match 3 times. Comes into the finals, scores first 2 goals.
Yeah, he scored in every knockout round.
And,
great.
But that doesn't happen all the time. And you're not player of the match all the time. You know what I mean?
Happens, but most of them are penalties as well. So
what difference does it make? Now you were saying
it makes a lot of difference.
We just saw you just saw your Harry Kane not score one, right? And that's his job. That's what he does well.
What? I openly said that I give Kylian Mbappe all the credit in the world that for the fact that he was terrible for 80 minutes and then twice managed to put the ball in the net on a penalty obviously shows that in the pressure situation, it is not that easy, and he had the cojones to do it. I've openly said that. But at the same time, Lionel Messi still scored penalties. I mean, it's still advantageous to the attacker. That's the whole point of it. You're meant to score it. Well, it's not a 50-50 situation. You are meant to score a penalty.
Yeah, as you saw, Harry Kane definitely proved it's not 50-50. And it's, it should be better than 50-50. He proved it's 50-50. Yeah. What does it say? Got to at least win 1 Carabao Cup to be considered the GOAT. There you go. So you got to play in the Premier League, basically. You're nothing until you won the Audi Cup. You've never...
Exactly. See, Messi's got all these trophies. Never won the Audi Cup with Spurs, though, has he? Loser. Absolute loser.
Yeah. I wish I had a lot of I would say background history on in my head to say who I would consider the greatest of all time, but from what we've seen in our lifetime, right? I think a lot of us have not seen some of the older players. We saw I remember Zidane towards the end of his days.
What a player he was.
Yeah. No, I just remember it was the World Cup final where he headbutted the guy at the end. And if he would have stayed in the match, he probably would have been able to kick the penalty kick to seal it to win it for France. But he was out of the match by then.
Yeah, but the worst part of it was obviously that was his final game in football, right? Just period. That was his final game.
Yeah.
But he was going to win player of the tournament and all things like that, and because of that, he got nothing.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate, but at the same time, I mean, you headbutted a man in the chest in front of 1 million people.
True. I mean, I just remember it because he actually did kick a penalty kick in that match, if I recall. Right through the middle,
as well.
Right behind the goalkeeper. As the goalkeeper went, he just chipped it right behind, and the goalkeeper was like, ah!
Yeah, it was like one of them Panenkas, but he hit the underside of the bar. It was great, but because that was supposed to be his crowning glory, and then he had 30 seconds of madness, and it just ruined it. Threw it away.
Yeah,
they lost the tournament.
It's almost that I don't know if you ever seen the agony of defeat with the skier coming down the mountain and he's just about to win it and then he eats it and you're like, oh, because that's kind of what it was going on there, because you could tell that was his match to lose, right? They weren't going to stop him, but yeah. So Tony has left us, and we might get into some England talk because we are an hour into the show, and we talked about women's game, we've talked about the World Cup, and that spun off into a lot of stuff in the World Cup. English coaches, and You tried to tell me that England is set up terribly, and they're just going to do stupid thing after stupid thing with every manager they bring in. Kind of.
Well, yeah, I've got 30 years of proof of that. I've got 30 years of proof that that's right.
Yeah, and you think they did that when they won the World Cup?
I said 30 years, not 50, Gary.
I know, but that's why I asked that question. Is it just because was it when you were born that they started screwing things up, or is it something else?
That screwing it up could go, but they screwed it up. They've screwed it up in every tournament except the one that they won. Because that's the nature of sport, right? Like it goes for you or it doesn't.
I hear you.
Like they were we beat Germany in the '66 final, and then in the quarterfinal in 1970, the following World Cup tournament, we were 2-0 up against the same team and lost.
Yeah.
Which two international teams?
Yeah. I'm gonna let you answer this. I just have to I have to mute for a second here.
It'll be one of those colony type things.
I thought you were going to answer that while I was away. You still trying to figure it out?
I thought I was on mute, but yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
I said I'm gonna mute myself. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I misheard that. Yeah. Then I noticed you were moving your lips, and no sound was coming out. But I don't know. It's like something like Australia and England or something. No, I don't know. I actually don't know, but I know as soon as it comes up, it's going to be something I've heard before. Like
that
Canada not Canada. They've got no Canada. Yeah. As soon as I said that, I knew it was wrong. But
I wasn't trying to leave. I was trying to give Tom. I was trying to give Tom the platform, the podium.
I like Bloodsport.
The man closed his mouth.
Yeah, I shit the bed. No, I didn't even know I had the bed to speak on. But
here we go. I don't think that's international teams because isn't Puerto Rico and U.S.
I knew it was going to be someone had our national anthem.
Oh, here we go. I think Riddy's thinking it's Riddy's answer, I guess. England and Northern Ireland. All right, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I don't.
I'll try to think about the Irish.
Okay. So what is? I don't know what this means.
The answer to that, Jean-Claude Van Damme, JCVD.
Oh.
The best film. Bloodsport. I mean, that's not the right answer, but it's the first one I thought. Like, it's great.
Is Bloodsport the one with the big like massive Asian guy? Boing.
Yeah, Bolo Young. Yeah. Oh no, you're the one. Yeah. There's two massive Asian guys, but one's like Bolo
Young.
Two
masturbation guys. Is that what you said, Tom?
And now you start talking. What
massive Asian guys?
Right? Oh, I thought you said masturbation. Sorry.
For fuck's sake, Tony. Anyway, yeah, right. Bloodsport's great because there's a bit where like Bolo Young throws salt in his eyes, right? And Jean-Claude Van Damme does like the best acting he's done in like 30 years when he's like, I really believed he was blinded. And I also believe they overcome the blindness in a fight. The Kumite. That's the name of the tournament.
Okay. All right. So, Tony, are we going to see you or are you just going to be chatting when he just muted himself again? So I don't know what's going on there. So let's get into it. All right. Let's get into it. You said you guys don't play. We'll get into the Boxing Day matches. Yeah. So Brentford, home to that team. Crystal Palace, Fulham, Everton, Wolves, Leicester City, Newcastle, Southampton, Brighton and Hove Albion, Aston Villa, and Liverpool, and last but not least, Arsenal versus West Ham. So, I think a good slate of games, right?
Yeah,
I think
I've seen better.
It could be better, but I mean that's That's what we got, right? I guess we'll find out soon enough if Liverpool gets I guess it's the 5:30 match for you guys over there in the UK. Get to see how they've responded. Get to see if Harry Kane is returned back to form against Brentford. I guess Tony is still playing. Is that right? He's not in.
Yeah,
he's not in.
Yeah. He's
I think he has until January to
he is in a lot of trouble. But I
respond.
Don't think he's
yeah. It went from like 230 to 260 or whatever it is. So, I think they keep finding new things he's done wrong.
Yeah, as I said before, Kieran Trippier got a ban for one offence.
You're cutting out a little bit, so I'm not sure if it's your you said one event, but how many matches though?
I can't remember. I think it might have been 4 months.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard. I thought I heard like 19, but that's more than 4 weeks worth of matches. So 4 weeks. So you're saying that he could be out indefinitely, basically.
He could be out for a long time, depending on. I mean, you don't usually find someone that gets done with that amount of infractions.
As I posted on Twitter, because I don't even think anybody responded. He must have been playing those round robin parlays and didn't realize that each time he did like an 8-team parlay, and it comes out to, I think, if I recall, like 70 bets individually when they all get extrapolated across. And then he did 3 of those, and then he did one 16 parlay to get him close to that 270 mark or whatever, 280 mark that he hit. So
I think he needs to hope that that's what he did. Because I would argue that based on what you've described, that would be 3 of his 240 charges.
Yes.
I did the maths on it. It was something like he placed a bet every 3 days or something like that over the period of time, which in the scheme of things is not actually that much, but it looks like a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't. I mean, like I said, I did say. I think I did mention that. Why don't you have your buddies make the bets? But as you say, that doesn't really. You're still, if it's for you, then you're in trouble either way, right? So, and I tell you the truth, is it actually? This is something silly. Is it actually worth doing this? The more balls he puts in the net, he'll win. He'll get more money than he'll make on any of his bets. Every time he puts a ball in the net, guess what? That's like another $1 million he's going to make. When you add it all up over time.
Yeah, but
you can't do both. We just found out you can't do both.
No, but I mean, he wants to do both.
Yeah.
Evidently, or he wouldn't have done it.
True. And as I think it was really said, tomorrow, City plays Liverpool in the EFL Cup, and we know City usually tries to win that, right? So they're going to probably play as full strength as they can.
I reckon they will both play full strength sides, obviously, because they've both sort of got players that haven't played for a while, and it's a good opportunity to get match fitness.
Yeah, we won't play
next week.
I hear you. We won't play City. We won't play. Jesus will not play in the first City match. He should be back in April for the second one. But February 15th is a little too soon for him to be back. If they're saying what they're saying, I mean, it sounds like what Xhaka went through is not the same thing. So, right? So I think we will not see him until March. And what's interesting is in March we only have 3 matches, so there must be a lot of international breaks then. So that might be perfect for him to come back in March. Do you think we made a mistake by letting Jesus go to the World Cup?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think you can.
You can't stop a player going to the World Cup.
No, not even that. But he could have got injured playing in any of the games we had in that period. It'd be the same situation. Maybe we're a couple more games into the season, but that injury is probably going to come anyways. And he didn't play as much, right? So that injury was already there. Because that happened to me. I tore my ACL, but guess what? I tore my ACL running back on defense, backpedaling. I was just backpedaling. It was basketball. And I was backpedaling.
You got injured during the game?
No, this is years ago. Right. But I was just backpedaling, and then all of a sudden, my leg just gave out on me, and I just fell. Right, and they're like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then I just basically said, I'm gonna go because my leg didn't feel good. Went and got it checked out. They eventually did an X-ray and all of that, and noticed there was problems with my, you could see in the X-ray there was a problem. Then they did an ultrasound and confirmed it. But yeah, so I tore my ACL, and that was me playing. I had been playing every morning for a while, so yeah, it you never know when when the ACL is going to go. So I don't think it matters. Yeah. If you bet on Brentford, I don't think it matters, right? It just makes it worse. But 240 times is too much. Too much. Tony, you taking cricket lessons back there, fella? Yeah, we don't know what Tony's doing. He's just showed up in
the only player at Campbell's. I know that for a fact.
Pre-Brentford days for Ivan Tony. So, oh man. Wow. Yeah. So he basically is finally hit his prime and is going to miss all of that, most likely. For doing stupid stuff, right? They're usually to get fit. Yeah. Early, Southgate did pick players on merit, so I guess he's changed his ways. Yeah. The Brazil coach took a chance when he didn't need to.
That's what they all do, though. They all did that. They all brought in, like Sven-Göran Eriksson brought in a new, younger bunch of players, but then they were his players for 8 years. That's the point.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's easy to set your stall out and pick on merit, but then you become what came before you just with your group of players.
Yeah.
Your lads.
Yeah, no, and that's why it's just so silly. You just get the best players. I don't know. That's I kind of look at like the U.S. men's, the U.S. men's basketball team, right? You pick the best players, and as you say, similar to some of the European countries, they've got more than enough players that if some players don't make it, you can consider those players could play anywhere in the world. That's how good they are, and that the depth is there. But they do have a solid base of players that are really good, and they change over the years. They do. They don't just keep playing them. And
I imagine it would be. I imagine it would be harder for the United States or the NBA to find 5 players in its league that could not beat another international team at basketball.
That's not true. That is not true because we've seen it. We've seen it, right? We've seen Yugoslavia. We saw
number 2.
We saw Yugoslavia win a World Cup, a trophy, Olympic gold, right? I believe it was, and Spain I think Spain at one time I believe beat the men. So that it's not. They have the best players, yes, but they can
beat the men out of what 100.
But they didn't win They didn't win a gold medal, right? So, and this is the World Cup, so it's a similar thing, right? You only get one chance in the knockout round. Everybody gets one chance, and who's better on that day wins, right?
Tom, you can't go to the NBA. Stick to soccer.
Yeah. Thunder Road, you're saying that none of my kids played basketball. Let's see. I had a tennis player. I had a couple of swimmers in high school. One of the swimmers is still swimming in college, so that's cool. But nah. And I guess we need to find out who's sitting in the in the mug today.
Tony, who's sitting in the cup? You'll see him he's running or he's hopping to find them.
Yeah, it's quiet.
Who is it, Tony?
Tom, from here, it looks like it's fucking a wrestling version of Adam, which would be who would it be? It'd be He-Man, Prince Adam. That's what it looks like.
All right, you gonna let us know because I don't know who that is.
You're in the dungeon, Tom.
It's Tatanka, the Native American.
Wow.
Uncultured.
Okay.
I love that name, Tatanka, because I like Tonka trucks.
I like Jimmy Fly Snooker, so that's my.
Sure,
all right. Sid Vicious is what he thought.
I do have Sid. Just saying.
Okay.
Sorry, I said that way too excitedly, but Tony knows I'm the Sid one.
I hear that. All right, so we got, like you said, tomorrow we got City and Liverpool playing. I don't think there's any other matches until Boxing Day, which we just called on. I don't think Tom was interested in that because he didn't mention much about it. Don't think he cares about any of those matches, of course, because Leeds is not playing, which is really difficult. How do we have a football show if we have to only talk about Leeds? There's lots of other football going on.
Fuck them.
I hear that. We're going to talk about Arsenal as well. Arsenal plays West Ham. West Ham will probably be without two of their strikers, if I recall. So for Arsenal, that could be a good thing. It means you don't have to worry about having to score too much. And I think Arsenal's defense will be all together again. So everybody behind Partey will be the usuals. All right. Sounds like so that I'll take that. But it's just up top in the middle. As you said, it's in Nketiah's time, right? And Nketiah now. See, my thing is I don't like the fact that we have to prod him to be really good. Here you go. There's nobody behind you. There's nobody in front of you. We're 100% behind you now. We weren't before, but now we are because we don't have anybody else. I don't like that message. My message is you're on the squad. We gave you us money. We gave you the shirt because we think you're worth it, right? Like show me what you got. That's what I believe should be the message. That's the only reason why we gave you all this because we believe in you. You have some talent that you've shown us. That's why you pay him that money, right? You don't pay him that money.
You have to go with him.
No, we have no choice.
You have to go with him.
That was the case when he wasn't starting. But I've heard he has to start to show me what he's got. Right? That's what I'm hearing even from you. You're saying that now he's going to show us what he's got. Not when he was playing in the Europa League, when he had all the starts. Right? I just think he should be showing it to me 100%, not 100% of the time, not when it deems necessary because we have nobody else. That's not a good. I don't like that. So what do we got here? That you know what? The world champions in NBA, right? World champions in baseball, world champions in hockey. I mean,
that's my favorite bit. The World Series. It's a World Series with like one team from Canada. How international.
Hey, it is. It's international. You got to quantify it by the levels. Bargav, thanks for joining the show. We did have our little say on Salt Bay Guy. None of us liked it. None of us thought that was good for the game.
I've watched the replay, or I can sum it up for you quickly. He's a prick. He's embarrassing.
I think that's it's a bad look. I don't know why would anybody want to go to. You could boycott and cancel his restaurant. I know people won't, but that's just a bad look, I think.
If people were stupid enough to pay his prices, then good luck to him.
Yeah.
But
is this I don't know, Mr. Tom, if you
pay your stuff. Sorry, yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose so, but I would argue Millwall are the London Leeds. But it's ironic you say that. We're not like mates. Like, we hate Millwall and Millwall hate us. Fuck them. So.
Yeah, so let's go. What happens is there a match on the 27th? Yeah, there is. Chelsea home to Bournemouth. United home to Manchester United home to Forest. That's our 27th. The game's on the 27th, right?
I suppose I can sleep on that day.
And then on the 28th, there's not much going on the 28th. Nothing's happening on the 28th. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, there is something. There is something. So there's two things happening on that day.
It's my birthday.
There's a happy birthday to Mr. Tom on the 28th, but also City gets to smash some little pipsqueak team on that day as well.
Are we doing that now? Are we? All right.
If we could only talk about leads, then this is what we're gonna say.
All right.
I'm gonna give everybody their equal say.
That's fine. I'll remember that. That's fine. That's fine. I'll remember that. Don't worry. That's all right. It's all right.
I've already told you. I'm hoping to see.
Your only hope in Leeds beat Man City out of selfishness. You want an 8-point lead. That's the only reason you want us to beat Manchester City.
Yeah, I'm right.
For your own reasons.
Yes, I am. I'm all about that. Yes, I want your team to win. One, because it makes you happy, and it makes all of our Leeds friends happy. And on top of that, it also makes me happy. Because then, like you said, City there'll be 3 less points they've won this season, and we'll take that. All right. I just kid when I say I want to, because I really don't want any team to win. I'll tell you that
I'm probably not going to watch it because it's. I don't know.
You might watch it. Think about what we'll see what happens tomorrow, right? And that might give you some incentive to watch it. So you'll see what happens tomorrow, and then maybe the incentive will be So the Leeds could win. They can win. Yeah.
Somerville's injured. He got injured in a winter friendly. Against Elche.
Yeah, Leeds Thunder Road has it here because he says like the best baseball league in the world is in America. The best players in the world play in Major League Baseball.
I must say I found it hilarious when I discovered that baseball is an Olympic sport and there was like 4 teams in the tournament. It was great.
Was it only 4? I thought it was more than that.
Oh, you could well be right, but I know that if you lost, you weren't necessarily out. Let's just say.
They usually have a little round robin, if I recall. Maybe.
I recall they were doing all this kind of. I forget the word. They do it in like the rowing. Like if you lose one, then you go into like a losers bracket.
Double elimination. Yeah. Elimination is what they call it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Now is Crescencio. Who's that? Is that
Summer Olympic?
Yeah. 4 sounds really.
That's his first one.
Okay. 4 sounds really low for an Olympic sport. Predictions for Boxing Day.
My apologies.
So let's just do that.
Apologies, Gary.
Yeah.
You had 6 teams in the baseball in the 2020 Olympics.
So you were wrong. So let's do a quick. So a quick prediction here, because we're probably going to do it tomorrow anyways. So I might change my mind if when a Ray's show is on. But I got you here.
Is Ray doing a show tomorrow?
I believe so. I can't speak for him, but I believe so. I think the football is back. So English football is back. So here we go. So first up, we've got that team.
Nobody cares because Ray's not inviting me to be on tomorrow. So who cares?
What do you mean Ray's not inviting you? He didn't invite you? What do you mean he didn't invite you?
He said I wasn't allowed on the show. He said it earlier.
He did?
I asked if I was part of the flight crew, and he said no. That I had to join from the sidelines. I don't know what I did.
To be fair, Tony, you've been pretty much on the sidelines for this one. So what difference would it? Like he's literally sat on the sidelines right now, and he's complaining about being on the sidelines on another show.
Fuck you,
Tom. You're mate. And Tony Turner, you're amazing.
Life has priorities.
But anyways, here we go. Everybody gets to say in this
priorities, Tom.
Let's get into this. Let's get into it.
Gift time in a while, Tom.
And you know what, Ray here, not Ray. If Ray said it, he said it in jest. Ray doesn't kick people out. He doesn't kick you out.
Tony, it's literally confirmation, and we're going to hold Ray to it. Not that we have to, because why would he lie? You're on the show, Tony.
Go back and look.
I'm not going back and looking. I don't care that much.
You know, and he probably was joking with you, and you probably pissed him off with what you said.
I didn't say anything.
You said you opened your mouth and you said some words. I have no doubt you did that.
I was being nice.
Tony antagonizing people. No, you wouldn't do that.
Let's get to the predictions. Hey, stop it, Mr. Tony, Mr. Tom. Let's listen. Let's do it. Mr. Tony.
Take it seriously.
There we go. Brentford is home to that team. I'm hoping for Brentford to win. Tony, bet on it. Bet 5 goals. No, 3 goals. Hat trick for Tony. Bet by Tony. Right?
I'm Tom did betting in the dark.
No, well, you are in the dark right now, so that sounds like it. So what do you got? What do you got, Mr. Tom?
I believe. Unfortunately for you, gentlemen, I believe it will be a good afternoon for Tottenham because Harry Kane is the highest scoring player on Boxing Day in the history of the Premier League.
Crap. Tony, you got anything to say on that?
On which one?
How many times am I going to say this?
That team? Team?
Yeah, they're playing Brentford.
Unfortunately, that team's a win and like a 1-0 very boring game.
All right. Next up, we got Fulham traveling to Crystal Palace. I know I should have the stadiums down, but I don't because you know me.
It's not Crystal. It's not. We know where it's not at.
So Fulham is playing.
It's not at Selhurst Park.
He's level with Robbie Fowler, just to confirm.
All right. So Crystal Palace home to Fulham. What we got, Mr. Tom?
I think that's going to be quite dull. I would imagine it's going to be 1-1. At a push, 2-1 to Palace. But
I
agree with Tom. 2-1.
Crystal Palace. Yeah, I could see that as well. There we go. And Tony, we've got Newcastle. We got Everton home to the Wolverhampton.
Dude, that's kind of one of my who gives a fuck games of a week games.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you for a prediction.
The home team.
Goalless.
Goalless? You're saying goalless?
I'm saying home team.
All right. I can see that. I can see that coming back from not playing much. So
Tom,
there we go.
You know what? Stan
no. You're not gonna jump. You're not gonna jump into this. We got to go through these. Then you can jump in later, Mr. Tony.
I'm sorry.
I can't even see your face right now. So next up, we've got Leicester City, home
Just
to.
imagine if you could see my
Stop!
eyes.
I don't want to see you. I barely want to hear you.
I'm sorry, Tony. That was brilliant.
So here we go. Next up,
why is one black guy being the cut?
Can you stop talking, please? Damn, dude. Let's get through this. Leicester City home to Newcastle. I can't see Newcastle losing this one, no matter where it is. So I'm going to be upset that Newcastle is probably going to win this. So, Mr. Tom, tell me.
Draw 2-2.
All right, Tony. What do you think? Leicester City home to Newcastle.
Newcastle.
All right, Mr. Tom. Next up, we've got probably another one of Tony's specials, but you got Southampton and Brighton playing in Southampton.
1-1.
1-1. Tony, what you got?
Another fucking boring 1-1.
All right, cool. We've got Riddy here with a 3-1 to Newcastle, and I think this 0-0 is what he had for I believe this is what he had for Crystal and Fulham, I believe. Yeah, Tony can't stop talking. You know, he said he's on withdrawals from podcasting, so he's trying to make up for it. All right. So next up we got.
What happens when you got 7 autoimmune disease, Gary?
Yeah, I know. So here, Tony, answer this one for me. We've got Aston Villa home to Liverpool.
That might be a tricky one. But I think Liverpool will end up pulling it off. But I think one of them on Ray's show, I might be doing upsets special for Aston Villa.
I don't know. I think I can't see Liverpool losing it, but that's me. So I think Liverpool will win this one. What do you got? What do you got, Mr. Tom?
I think Liverpool will win
2-1. I think 2-1. All right, cool. And last but not least, we've got Arsenal and West
2-1.
Ham.
2-1.
Yeah. All right. So what do you think about? We got Really thinks 1-0 to Villa.
Ooh. Does the bottle job start on Boxing Day?
So here we go. So this is so Mr. Tom, we got Arsenal home to West Ham United.
How many goals does Eddie and Kenny?
No. It's not your time. I give you your time.
I think you will win 2-1. I think it's possible. I think West Ham might actually nick the first goal, but then you'll overturn it.
Okay, cool. And Tony, what you got for the Arsenal West Ham match?
3-1.
3-1
to West Ham.
To Arsenal, Tom. Stop being a cunt.
Just confirming. Just confirming.
I think it's going to be 2-0.
Where's your crisp at, Tom?
I can't see. Hey, it's not your show. It's not your show. And Mr. Tom, put those chips down.
It's not your show either.
It is my show. It's called The Trip.
You mute both of us.
I'll mute you. Mr. Tom me and Tom will just talk. So there you go. But Riddy's got 2-1 to the Arsenal. And yes, games against Hammers are always close. It's capital derby. I know, Derby. I know, but I just can't see them scoring without two of their strikers out. I mean, I kind of feel like we should be able to dominate that one. Teams will be a little, and it'd be nice to see Nketiah, get,
Tom,
get
do you
out
know
there,
what you look like right now? It's a good question. It's a good question, Gary.
It's not a good question. It's a terrible question.
Tom will love the answer.
What's
the answer is a mix of Arn Anderson and Stone Cold Steve Austin, because your beard and like the way the top part of your head looks. That's what you look like, Tom. I thought you might appreciate wrestling reference.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Tony Turner. It is one of the least insulting things you could have said.
So, so what segment are we doing today, Mr. Tom? Because I always forget.
You know what? I would love to share with you, gentlemen.
Or are you going for the Chris?
We are going to have, in honor of my American brothers, in this Christmas special, we're going to have some yogurt with herbs Lays.
Oh, you call it yogurt with herbs, and we call it sour cream and onions.
You didn't call it yogurt though. Call it what you called it, Tom.
Yogurt.
What's
a yogurt?
Yogurt.
It's a yogurt.
It's the same stuff. One's with the H, and one's without. I get it. Go ahead. Let's get the taste test because people want to know. Oven baked, so these are healthy, right? These keep you slim and trim.
That means they're dry and tasteless. At least here in the States.
Good crunch.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's going to be a 6.72.
I don't need any Tony management lessons. You know what? If I start the show and I go after Tony for like the first 5 minutes, he just wilts. So I know how to control him if I need to. I don't do that too often. Tony knows better, and he takes my harshness, if that's what you want to call it, in jest. He knows I'm joking with him. I believe you do. Yeah, you come back. You keep coming back. You wouldn't come back if it was not fun. Would you?
Because I haven't done anything else for fucking last 2 weeks. Haven't watched any football for fucking 4 weeks.
That's your decision. That's not anybody. You can't blame your decisions on other people.
You guys finished talking about the World Cup, and neither one of you said that's the last Winter World Cup I want to see. I'm disappointed in both of them.
Well, I was quite happy to watch 4 games a day. It was great.
So there you go. See, Mr. Tom is okay with international football sometimes. All right. So give us the lowdown on this chip, Mr. Tom.
You know what? It had good crunch, good distribution of flavour. Like Tony said, not as oily as a lot of crisps. So I'm going to give the score of 16.42 out of 19.19.
What?
Yeah.
What did you just say, Tom? Why did you shot Gary?
Tip of the show.
I didn't understand the scoring scale. You said 13?
No, 16.42 out of 19.19.
So like just about a 8.1 or something like that on a 10-point scale?
A high scoring tip.
Okay. All right. So you got any questions for us, Mr. Tom, or are we getting ready to get out of here?
He's always got Liberace's notebook, Gary.
Yep. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Before we get to you, Mr. Tom, we do have, because I think Ray was just trying to wind up Tony here. Tony, is Saliba leaving Arsenal in January? Because Tony's feels like he's always out of here.
I'm sure he's going somewhere. He'll probably go on a trip somewhere. He might go visit France on the weekend. Yeah, he's going.
So you think he's leaving Arsenal to go to France?
Yeah, he's a leave Emirates or London Colony. He's a leave.
Yeah,
that's my answer, Gary.
Yeah, he didn't fall for it for Ray, and it looks like you've got a 0-0 draw here. No real strikers on either side. That is partly true, but you've got a Martinelli, you've got a Saka, and you got an Erdegaard. So I think you even have a Saka, Xhaka, if you want to think about it. I think we should be much better on the attack. But anyways, back to Mr. Tom's question of the show. Question of the week.
Greetings.
Where's my notebook,
Tom? I don't need the notebook for this one.
Doesn't count, Tom. Doesn't count.
Does count. Does count. Right.
Gary doesn't count.
It is called Mr. Tom's question of the show, so I wouldn't put that out if I didn't think it counted.
Right. Now, true footballing connoisseurs will know that the Boxing Day fixtures in England are rather special, as we are one of the few countries that actually have football at this time of year, especially on that day. But the true footballing connoisseur knows that Boxing Day in 1963 yielded quite the interesting set of results. Out of the 10 matches in Division 1, which was the equivalent of the Premier League, how many goals were scored? 10 matches, how many goals were scored?
And when was this again?
Boxing Day, 1963.
I'm going to say exactly 7.
You're a little bit at.
Tony, you got a guess? People in the chat, hopefully, I guess by now you hopefully have heard the question.
How many goals were scored in the 10 Division 1 / equivalent of the Premier League games on Boxing Day of 1963?
So
it's not a trick question. It's not a trick question. It's not 0 because they never played. There were 10 matches. How many goals were scored?
So Thunder Road and Arsenal Misfit, he's saying it's more than 0. And I think he liked the 7 that I said.
It was close. I'll give you that. It was close.
I'm going to go. I don't want to give another guess because I think I should only get the one guess. So let's see. Same number as last England World Cup winning year. I don't know. Do we know what that number is already?
1,966, I believe, is the implication.
That sounds like Oh,
it's not true.
oh, I thought he meant the same number of goals scored as the last time England won it.
No, the not trick question. It's just rather crazy.
So I'm gonna just give. We'll see if anybody else says anything, but I'm just gonna say 5.
I'll give another 20 seconds or so before I dazzle you with the answer.
Tony, what are you doing? I'm just gonna mute him because I don't know what that is. Not that we are gonna lose money or anything like that, but I just don't know what he's doing. What are you doing, Tony?
I'm not doing anything. It's my buddy Dave playing dirt or whatever it is.
All right.
10.
Go ahead.
Okay. The answer is 66.
Oh my! You lied.
I did lie.
You lied.
I did. More the sarcasm. No. I will read the results. It's okay. Blackpool 1, Chelsea 5. Burnley 6, Manchester United 1. Fulham 10, Ipswich 1.
Yeesh.
Leicester 2, Everton 0. Liverpool 6, Stoke 1. Nottingham Forest 3, Sheffield United 3. Sheffield Wednesday 3, Bolton 0. West Brom 4, Tottenham 4. West Ham 2, Blackburn 8. And Wolves 3, Aston Villa 3. 66 goals.
Like half the games were over 10. Yeah,
only two of the 20 teams never scored.
That's crazy.
18 teams it scored. Yeah. The even crazier thing is that was on Boxing Day. On December the 28th, 2 days later, they played each other again because they just did the reverse. That was when they decided to do, all right, whoever was, you know what I mean. They all played again. And Ipswich beat Fulham 4-2, despite losing to them 10-1 2 days earlier.
Well, you know what? That's the sport, man. That is what sport is all about. You get beat up one day, you get to come back and fight another day.
Yep. Yeah. But also, I believe West Ham actually beat Blackburn as well, despite losing to them 8-2 at home.
There you go. That is big boy football, as they say. I mean, yeah, I was muting Tony. Tony was not adult content, so don't worry about that. That's why you said England's World Cup winning year. What year did they win the World Cup?
1966.
All right. So he was right.
What do you mean?
66 was the number. All right.
Oh, yeah. I suppose he was, yeah.
So Reddy was right.
Yeah. Congratulations on Googling it in the same place that I did. Yeah, so.
All right. So let's see if Tony's around. Tony, you still here? Oh, he's muted it. So, Tony, it's time to get out of here. So say goodbye to your people.
Goodbye, BX Cutter. You weren't in too long. Miss Melina for being the first one in the door. Yeah. Ready for watching cricket instead of a World Cup. And Mr. Tom for just looking like Arn Anderson and good old Stone Cold at the same time.
Wood.
Cool.
Wood.
All right. And Mr. Tom?
Yeah. Although I'm probably am going to speak to most of you through the various shows in the YouTube world before now and then. Again, thank you all for supporting the show. Thank you for staying with us till 2:50. God, this show went long. Thank you for the support as always. Like, share, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff, which means that maybe slightly more of you will see the madness. I mean, I don't care if 100 of you see it or 2 of you see it. Boy, it's fun to be here. I have a good time with my boys, even Tony, despite his smell. And, you know, I just think, yep, you're welcome, sir. Again, thank you for the support. I think if I don't speak to or see you all before then, have a good Christmas. Hope your families have a good Christmas and a happy New Year and all that stuff.
Tom, you didn't win the fucking BAFTA. They're playing the music to get you off the stage.
Tony, the only person that's playing the music is you. Mr. Tom, continue.
Yeah, so hope you get everything you want from Santa. I hope Leeds get 3 points. I mean, if Arsenal win, I suppose that's all right as well. But no, but seriously, thanks for supporting the show throughout the past year. I'm not sure the show's a year old yet, but let's just say we're probably going to say that next week, aren't we? But I mean, like supporting us throughout the year. And yeah, have a good week, have a good Christmas, have fun. Don't do anything too irresponsible. Like listen to Tony. But
don't listen to Tom. Tom's wrong.
I was literally about to say, but do support Tony's GoFundMe so he can get a new wheelchair. But would you rather them not listen to me then?
Continue, Tom.
Yeah, so as you can see, Tony is having some issues relating to his health, and there are situations and complications derived from his situation, which could be alleviated somewhat via the purchase of a power-assisted wheelchair. It's got that fancy little wheel behind it and everything.
Yeah, Mr. Tom, and the man left us as I put his thing up. I don't get it. The man left us. So there you go. That's Tony for you. I put up the thing. You can see he's 20% of the way into getting the help he needs for the power assisted wheelchair that helps save his shoulder. As you know, he had shoulder surgery on one shoulder blade, and he'll have it on the other one in a couple of months after that one heals. So lots going on with Tony and his body. But
what I was gonna say, if understand the cost of living increases and things like that means you may not be able to monetarily support it, but if you could at least share it in the hopes that people who can monetarily support it, it would be not the most unappreciated thing out there in the universe. Definitely.
So thank you. As Mr. Tom said, if you can't support with any, with monies, but you can share it, we would appreciate that as well. Get the word out. And I'd like to say thank you once again for joining. Tony, thank you for joining me. Mr. Tom, thank you for joining me on the show, the midweek show. It seems people did like the midweek show, or they dismissed us, one of the two. But we'll be back on Monday talking about what's happened over the weekend. Mr. Tom will have to check out some of the matches, I believe, so he can talk about them, especially the Arsenal one, because I know he loves that. There you go. So we'll talk about that. So we'll see you then. Enjoy your holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, however you celebrate this time of year with your loved ones, your family, and your friends. Have a good one. And we will see you again on Monday after the holidays, and then we'll talk about the New Year's then. But I'd like to say, good night, and life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Or maybe we'll see you tomorrow night. And we're out.